Hello darlings, and welcome to another pick a card reading. Today's reading is going to be pretty straightforward. Now before I kind of get into it a little bit, I wanted to let you know that this isn't to be something that's going to be your be-all end-all of decision making. Not to say that things can't change or anything like that. I want to emphasize that your life is in your power and your control, and you can choose what to do with this information. The reason why I want to say this even before the question is I want to emphasize that you are in control here. You have the power to make these choices and these decisions ultimately. This kind of just helps to guide you. So that being said, this reading is going to be, who will I get married to, or should I get married? Now, this is a decision that weighs heavily on a lot of people. Sometimes we're just not entirely sure which direction we should move. Honestly, to be giving a reading to do with like weddings and marriage and commitments and things like that always makes me a little bit wary, because I want to make sure that you're doing things for your best interest, not just because a person on the internet or a reader said to do so. Excuse me. However, keep an open mind and see what kind of comes up, and just really be open to the information coming forward. But again, this is not the be-all end-all, or I'm not trying to change the trajectory of your life path, but it just kind of gives you a little bit of insider. So, that being said, much love, everyone, to begin with. We have a pile number 1, 2, and 3. Now, I'm going to keep it a little bit simple today. I'm going to get a little bit more in-depth with each reading. So, there's just going to be 3 piles today, as well as I'm going to top it off with some oracle cards at the end. So, we have an amethyst here, a sapphire goldstone, nice and sparkly and shiny. And then we have a tiger's eye, just kind of like a raw tiger's eye there. So you can go ahead and take a moment and pick whichever deck gravitates towards you the most, and go ahead and fast forward to the timestamp that I provide below in the description and in the comments. Good luck, everyone. I guess we'll see what we get. All right, so pile number 1, hello, welcome. Should you, or are you going to be getting married? So let's take a look at this. Now, this again does not kind of dictate whether or not like the trajectory of your life is going in a specific direction. This is kind of going to give you a little bit of information surrounding the situation. Maybe it's not a good time, or maybe it is a good time. Just kind of keep an open mind throughout this reading. I'm going to put Mr. Amethyst aside. Move everything up. All right, so are you going to, or should you get married? So I guess we're going to answer that question right now. So your initial kind of position right now is, you're a very capable person. I'm seeing that you have a lot of empathy and a lot of kindness towards people, especially the people that are close to you. The Queen of Pentacles is kind of like really entrepreneurial, really business-like, not necessarily a female in general, but just somebody that kind of embodies the more internalized aspects of being like an entrepreneur. So maybe you might not be working on the front lines. You might have a little bit more of like practical aspect to things, but you really do take care of the people that are in your life and people that are around you. So like total like caretaker, you're making sure everybody has what they need, you're making sure everybody feels included, and you're very abundant. Like you have this almost like authoritative energy about you, but you're not like domineering. You have this nice balance. Like people can really look to you for direction. And I think that's like, that you're this type of person, which is why maybe you might be considering, should I settle down? Should I get into a marriage? Should I be in a commitment right now? Well, I'm seeing that you definitely do have those grounds. And I'm seeing that you do have the capability of 100% being somebody that others can rely on in a family dynamic, a workplace dynamic. I'm getting more family dynamic from this because it's the queen, and the queen is more about like close family members rather than the king being more about like everybody. So you're really kind of dedicated to the people that are close to you and that are around you, which I think that's a fantastic quality and a fantastic trait to have. It's a really powerful trait as well. So some of the things you might be weighing in this regard, the person that you might be might be dating, might be kind of working through, or sorry, not necessarily dating, but are with, might be going through some mental things, some mental blockages. I'm seeing that they may be struggling a little bit with kind of pushing things forward, like putting things into action. Because, it's like you're like, you do the talk and then you do the walk. Whereas this person might be a little bit more like of a dreamer. They might be a little bit more like, oh, I have all these ideas and thoughts, but you're having a hard time seeing those being put into action, even if they say they're like trying. The Page of Swords is represented kind of like still a little bit of a rocky, almost like childlike mentality when it comes to dealing with conflict or dealing with certain ideas and prospects, which is, kind of makes you feel a little bit like, I don't know, like you're not entirely sure of the situation just yet, or you're taking this into account about this person, about their a little bit like flightiness and maybe just a little bit scattered sometimes. And yeah, sometimes I feel like you kind of get caught up in that as well. I'm not necessarily saying that you don't have those kinds of thoughts, but I'm seeing that. I feel like this is a different person. I don't feel like this is you. I feel like this is a separate energy from you. Somebody with a little bit more of an immature way of thinking about things even, which is very different for you, being this very established person. On the other end of things, we have the Ace of Cups reversed. So it's interesting how we have two really beginnings here. We have a page and we have an ace, and the page is like the suits, the youngest of the suits, and then we have the ace, which is the beginning of the cups, which emphasizes that there may be a little bit of hesitance in terms of opening up emotionally, and you're recognizing this in yourself. Ace of Cups is just like, it's that emotional beginning, that emotional fulfillment. I'm not necessarily seeing that you're 100% okay or comfortable with the idea of committing because you're very self-sufficient, you're very reliable, but there's like these emotional components to the situation and to yourself that you still might be working on, just like this other person is working on their thoughts. You're working on your emotions. Maybe there was something that you just never really felt close to before, but they're really kind of asking you to look at them. They're like, look at me, I'm your emotions, I am here, I need to be understood and dealt with before you can understand and empathize with this person here. So getting closer to identifying what your emotions are and what you want in terms of fulfillment, because you don't know what's going to make you happy. You don't want to get into this commitment on a whim or anything like that. This person, being this like mental energy, may have talked to you about getting married or getting together or committing, and you're still like a little hesitant because of maybe this energy, because they're like, you don't know if they can put what they say into action, and maybe there's some reservation on your part. It's kind of what I'm picking up here with the reversed Ace of Cups, and just kind of unexpressed emotion. So you're still learning on about opening yourself up to like express to other people while maintaining this stable, reliable sense of self. Nine of Pentacles is also saying that you are still kind of working on establishing your grounds. So as much as you are a go-getter, get-her-done sort of person, I'm seeing some struggle right now in the material sense. So I'm seeing that you have the capability to acquire all of the resources that you need. You're still very reliable, but right now your heart is fueled by a lack of abundance, and it's making you a little bit worried because I feel like you need a lot of ground to feel stable on. But again, this does not mean that you are not successful. I see that you are, but you don't feel like it yet. You don't feel like you have a grounds of stability in the Pentacles. It speaks a lot about security, a lot about career, a lot about finance. So it's almost like you're holding this pentacle up in the air, and you're like, yeah, I have all this stuff, but you're still feeling like you're sitting in this pool of like uncertainty and just stillness. And you're not feeling like you can provide or give as much as you'd like to. And maybe you're not quite at the place where you want to be just yet. So it's like just kind of like this person sitting in the pool waiting, sitting in the pool, not quite there yet, just kind of hanging out, figuring some things out. Let's take a look at some other cards. Strength. So you have a lot of power. I'm seeing that you definitely have the upper hand in this situation. You might doubt yourself sometimes in what you're able to bring forward in terms of like the dynamic of this, and even just like in being able to handle commitment. I'm seeing that you really are able to take control of things when you need to. The Strength card really embodies that fire inside of your heart, that lion fire, that loyal, you defend, you protect, you care a lot. You might, be very openly emotional towards the ones that are closest to you, but as openly emotional as you can be. So like I said, you're starting off this new emotional trek. So you really are showing these parts of yourself to the person that you want to be with, and to the people that are closest to you in your life, but you're just still very selective about who you show that to. But I do see a lot of this like internal fire, this power, this strength that's inside of you, which is, it embodies like a lion. That kind of action energy of being able to push through even when you're kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, you do have the strength and the power to make choices and make decisions. This is an area of uncertainty for you because you are in fact questioning whether or not you're able to kind of push through a lot of this stuff. So when you're at this point where, yeah, okay, you'll kind of just know when you're ready to commit. It's not going to be like something that, it's going to just kind of maybe just be something that you realize one day. It's not going to be like you're going to be thinking about it for a long time. I'm seeing that it's just going to be like, oh, okay, actually I can do this, and actually this is what I want, if it's what you choose. Queen of Swords. Interesting, we're having two swords here. So this in your part represents a cool, calm, collected, calculating nature. So you definitely have the power to think things through sharply, be able to make very quick-witted decisions, scanning, analyzing, understanding. But the person that you're with, that you're interested in committing into, is not quite as, I want to say sharp-minded as you. Doesn't mean that they're not intelligent. You just feel like you kind of have a little bit more of a sense of direction than this person, because, yeah, I am seeing that there's like maybe a little bit of issues with the communication aspect. But you might have to learn how to communicate on a different level, tying in with the ace right above it too. It's just like you need to learn to communicate in a way that you're not used to, and that's really going to be beneficial for you. So initially kind of what I'm seeing is that I'm not seeing that there's going to be any problem with you committing to this person or getting married to this person, but I'm seeing that there's definitely some obstacles in terms of communication and you feeling secure enough to commit. That's going to have to play a part here. And the Knight of Pentacles. So lots of pentacles, lots of swords going on here. So it's going to be slow moving. It's going to be thought provoked. You're going to take your time with your thinking. When you come to the conclusion that this is what you want, this is what's going to happen. I'm saying that this other person might be ready to jump on board whenever you're ready. It's just a matter of whether or not you're ready. And you're a little bit slow in your decision making. But just know that in you being slow, it's going to make you feel more confident in making a choice of commitment, because you're going to know that you took the time that you needed and you didn't feel pressured, you didn't feel rushed. You're able to think about it in a way that is precise and calculating, a way that will make you feel comfortable. And I'm really seeing a benefit happening there. So that is fabulous. Really happy to see that going on. and Four of Cups. So I'm also seeing that you're working on kind of getting out of this melancholic state. Maybe a period of just kind of feeling a little bit, a little bit low, a little bit just kind of like, not really sure what I'm doing. Sorry about that. But it's there, and it's like, yeah, I don't know, like, humdrum, but you are recognizing that you do need to take some of these bigger aspects into consideration. And in that, you've kind of moved your way out of this melancholy, and you're definitely starting the work. I'm seeing you're starting the work on yourself, and that's really going to help your sense of commitment and you so that you can feel comfortable in committing yourself long-term, marriage, living together, whatever. I'm seeing that that's all going to just really tie together. So I'm going to draw a couple oracle cards to clarify. I just feel like I'm not looking, so don't worry. I'm not sneaky picking them for you or anything. All right. Let's take a look-see. Separation. So I am seeing, time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So I'm seeing that in the separation card, you're needing to kind of be away from them a little bit more. As much as you want to be with them all the time, it's kind of like stagnating your growth. Not in the sense that you have to like leave them physically or not be around them, but you need to be able to do your own things and have that separate dynamic, because it's gonna kind of confuse you, because they're very action oriented and you're very slow, calculating, and their energy might be muddling in with yours, confusing you about what you want, what you're feeling, just because you are really receptive to those sorts of things and you are really a good caretaker and a good leader. You need to make sure that they're holding their own independent ground to work on some of this stuff of their mental health, and then you being able to kind of reestablish and create a solid foundation for yourself about what you're confident in. And romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So I'm seeing that, you're only just starting to really get to know this romantic side of yourself. You may have considered and thought about this kind of, the way that you want to prove your love to somebody. But I'm seeing that you're having a lot of fun just kind of playing with this person, getting to know them, opening yourself a little bit more to them, and just kind of experimenting a little bit in the aspect of conversation, flirting, sensuality, etc. So definitely keep on like feeding that flirty, loving part of yourself, because that definitely does play a part within you. And secret admirer, someone has deeper feelings for you than they are letting on. So this person that you are with might come across a little bit cold sometimes, but that's because they love the shit out of you. And a lot of people admire you as well, because, in this, Queen of Pentacles, there's lots of people that really admire this, this structured nature that you have around you, and it creates a lot of comfort. So I'm seeing that. And it says, give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. So it's opening yourself to affection and to love, and allowing those feelings to come through, even if they're not necessarily comfortable for you. Those feelings are going to be the thing that's going to allow you to understand the direction that you want to go. So following your heart a little bit more than your mind might do you some good, just in the terms of the type of person that you are. Because you have choices and you have decisions. You're able to make choices and decisions now, and you have the power to. You may have not been able to before. You may have in the past not been able to, but I'm seeing now that there's this new part of you that's coming through. And I think that is awesome, and that is fantastic, and keep up the wonderful work. In a nutshell, commitment is 100% in your future. 100%. You are not going to have an issue if you're able to really work together with this person, as well as create this confidence when you're within yourself. I am not seeing an issue with committing at all. So should you get married? Yeah, hell yeah. Like, once you got all this figured out and you know when you will, you'll just know. All right? I believe in you. Okay. And again, oh yeah, sorry. And it might not be right away. Might take some time. Okay. We are finished with that. If you enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the description. I'd love to hear about your experience with this reading. It always really helps to get some good feedback from you. And good luck. Good luck with everything. Welcome, pile number 2. We're going to be exploring the question, should you get married? Should I get married? Or commit? Or anything along the lines of that. So it's just kind of really opening yourself to, should I commit? Should I not commit? Is this the right time? Etc., etc. So if you chose pile number 2, we have this lovely, I don't know if you can see it in the light. It's like a sapphire sandstone, so it's got that nice sparkle to it. I really like that. So we're gonna just pop some cards down here. Alright, just see we're in the frame here. Okay, cool. So this reading is kind of to help you understand whether or not you should commit yourself to a relationship at this time, or if you should get married, or move in with somebody, or just take like the next steps. I'm focusing on marriage as well here too. So like a little bit of a deeper commitment. This is more than just like I just met this person, I want to know if I'm going to marry them. This is more like an established connection. That's kind of what I don't know. I'm kind of getting established from this as well. I don't know. So let's turn her over, see what we get. 3 of Cups. So you're in this period of life where you're celebrating. You might be going out a lot with friends. You might be indulging. You're just kind of like maybe a little bit free-spirited. I'm emotionally just got maybe a little bit of flirtatious that I'm catching here. You just like having fun. That's really predominating your thoughts. And you're like, this is why you're here. You're like, okay, I'm having a great time in life. Should I commit? Will that screw me over? Will I stop being able to do this? Because this is what you really want to keep doing, right? So this 3 of Cups energy is representing of kind of that fun socialite energy, if you will. And it's filled with a lot of fun, a lot of friends, a lot of celebration. Maybe you party. Or maybe you're just really kind of looking for light casual relationships or fun, just fun in general, nothing too crazy serious. 2 of Swords. So with this, I'm seeing that the person that you're thinking about getting into a commitment with, I feel like you guys fight a lot. Seeing the 2 of Swords being like kind of combative, which is kind of like a little intense for you. So there's some conflicts that are coming up that maybe you're not entirely prepared for, or maybe it just kind of like throws a sword into your happy little, your happy little 3 of Cups gathering over here. It's like, wee-hoo, and then there's like this drama on your shoulder, and you're like, what the hell is this? But you're at a point as well where you're recognizing and starting to consider these sorts of things, where you're really looking at the aspects of things, which is why you're like, is it time for me to move out of this phase and lock myself down? But you're having a hard time because of these conflicts that you're going through, that you're having. And it's kind of like sometimes it's really hard to see clearly in these situations, because when you're used to a certain way of life and you don't want to change it, sometimes you need to go through those changes in order to get to the next stage of life. It's not to say that you can't have any enjoyment, but this is definitely something that you're struggling with, conflicts with others and perhaps even within yourself that are just kind of like, not sure, don't really know, but you're not really like super invested in finding out. You're being a little more defensive, perhaps a little defensive, which is okay. Let's take a look at the other one. Ace of Swords. Okay, you're not able to get your thoughts across clearly, which is causing a lot of these conflicts. You're just wanting to have fun and just like enjoy life as it is. You might not be like super into commitment, but these conflicts are caused by your willingness to maybe consider this level of commitment. Maybe they don't see you as, they see that you're not quite as serious. So they're like testing you and they're like, do you actually care? Which is causing like irritation. I'm seeing there's like some irritation where these like, this person is trying to like pull you away from this mentality in a way to be like, hey, like life is here, so come join me. But like you're still like, well, why would I want to do that when I am having a good time right now? So I'm seeing like a really like stubborn personality, and a lot of like opinions and thoughts coming from you. It's a good quality to have, I must say. So let's take a look a little further. 5 of Wands. You were just like done with fighting. You don't have the energy. You don't have the time. You're like, can we just not right now? Because you're like, I'm having a great time. Why does this have to be so difficult? I don't like the fact that this has to be so difficult and that I can't be understood or heard. Maybe you're not ready to talk about those kinds of things with this person, but they're just like pushing you and they're like, come on, commit. And you're just like, but like, I want to have some drinks with the guys, with the girls, whatever. And they're like, give me your heart. And you're like, no. Sorry. We turn over here. Ace of Cups, reversed upside down. Unwillingness to open up emotionally. So that is something that you have control over, but maybe you're still choosing to keep yourself shut off because maybe you like know like this conflict is keeping you shut off. It's just like you never know when you're gonna get into another bicker, so you're just like, forget that, I'm gonna just turn off my feelings and just not feel a damn thing. Well, that doesn't help. I know you don't want conflict, but in order to resolve things, you need to get into a little bit of heated debate every once in a while. I know you're kind of like, oh, but I just want to enjoy life. Well, yeah, you can enjoy life, and you can enjoy life with another person, but you are still closed off, like a lot. Like this is probably also really frustrating to this person because they're like, what the hell is going on with you? And they're almost like clinging to you as a result, even more so. And the Knight of Swords. So you're just like, initially you come across as like this really like charming, clever, just kind of just witty, like a witty personality. And that's fantastic. You got to use that in order to kind of like defend yourself. So like stop really thinking in this mentality of everything is happy, 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 or I just want to celebrate, I don't want to lock myself down, and really kind of like take control of the swords. Take control of what your thoughts and what your opinions are and be okay standing with them. Having access to your emotions is going to help you understand a bit more of your thought processes and maybe why you're getting angry or upset. But like, if you don't want to commit to this person, you don't have to commit to this person. I just want to say that. You have a lot of growth to do emotionally and mentally. And you don't feel like you're not at that point where you're ready to address that yet. You're not quite there yet. You could definitely come back to this and, have another conversation about it at a later date. But right now you're kind of stuck in this, I'm just enjoying life. I don't want any drama. I don't want any problems sort of place, which isn't selfish, by the way. It's just like maybe it's a specific period of your life that you want to enjoy. Maybe this person has to have more growth with them, or maybe, it might not be the right match. Anyways, let's take a peek. and you're not ready to give. Six of Pentacles here is you're not ready to kind of give what they want. You're just kind of like holding back. You don't feel like you can give what they want. Maybe they're asking too much of you and you're just kind of like, I'm not in that place. Which, let me tell you, you're not in that place, which is fine. But just try not to give out more than you can, bear. So don't keep giving into these situations that you know are just going to drag you down or just going to make you feel despondent and tired. And make sure your resources aren't being drained from all these arguments and things that are happening. Seeing maybe some just kind of hold on to things. Hold on to your sense of stability. And the King of Wands is so this. If your point really doesn't come across to this person about where you're at in life and they're just not respecting where you're at, you need to assert a little bit of fiery dominance over this situation. Not to say that it's destructive or anything, but be firm. This person might need you to be firm for them to understand that, no, this is not what I want right now. This is not what I can handle. And just be straight up and honest with them. I know you might feel like a dick for doing it, but you have to let them know where you're at so that they can move on and find somebody that does have what they want. Holding on is just stressing you out and confusing the hell out of them, because I feel like they have strong feelings for you, but it's not easy breaking somebody's heart, that's for sure. Pull a couple of oracle cards here for this. You deserve love. So again, kind of going back into you don't have to be trapped in this conflict. You are worthy of love, but if you're not at this point where you're ready, then don't do it. Honestly, let this person go. They deserve love. You deserve love. So if you feel like it's not right, then it's not right. You still have to get a few things figured out, and this fighting is really bringing you down, and it's pissing you off, and you just gotta stand up for yourself and know what you want, because you deserve it. And stay optimistic about your love life, and don't let this be a deterrent. Don't be like, oh, I can never have a serious relationship because I'm in this phase of life. No. Don't think of it like that. Think of it as just, it wasn't a compatibility. We weren't compatible, and that's okay. Don't look at it as a failure, or that you're an asshole, or that you can't commit, because you can. It's just not with the right person. That's kind of what I'm getting here, and I hope that that's an okay message for you guys. I know it's kind of a hard one to get, and only time will tell. So, it's going to take you some time to work through some of these feelings and some of these emotions about what you want in this phase of life. So yeah, there might be a little bit of time where you might be single. You might not know what you want, but when that person does come along, they'll come along and you'll know. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. So in this, I'm feeling like you're going to really click with this person in the future that you're going to meet. Because if you feel like you're being forced into something, or you don't feel like you have space, that's going to be an issue, because you're feeling smothered. And it's upsetting the other person because they're not as close as you'd like, and it's upsetting you too. So just keep that in mind when you're really kind of considering the dynamic that you're in right now, whether or not you'd like to commit. And as I pulled this first, it was the depth. It's just there's this sparkly and the dazzly, which means that, it's close to the surface, it's shimmery, it's kind of playful, it's kind of fun. And there might be a lack of depth due to some of this conflict, and I don't know, just kind of a deep, it's kind of it's blocked, it's just a wall. You're just kind of nope. That's kind of what I'm getting there. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and a comment in the description. I'd love to hear about what you thought. Thank you so much for all of your support. You're all absolutely fantabulous, and good luck. Howdy do, pile number 3. How's it going? Good. All right, good talk. So we have a tiger's eye. Can you see it? Like, I feel like it's kind of getting dark in here. There we go. There we go. Look at that. There we go. Tiger's eye. So we're going to take a look. Should you get married? Should you commit? Are you going to commit? Just kind of just like a little bit of like information on that. And this is pile number 3. This is the lovely pile that you selected for your question today. We're just going to be taking a look at what comes up. Numero uno. The world. Holy smokes. You're a little bit confused right now, aren't you? That's okay. Nothing wrong with being confused. You don't know what direction you're moving. You have a lot of ideas and you have a lot of hopes and you have a lot of dreams and stuff like that, but you've yet to reach that point where you're feeling satisfied with the direction that you're moving. So that might be playing a part into your wishy-washy thoughts about commitment. It's not to say that you don't desire it. I feel like you want it a lot. But there's these unfulfilled pieces of you that you're still learning about. And you're not entirely sure where you'll end up or what you want entirely. It's kind of what I'm picking up from the World card. 9 of Wands. And I'm feeling like you're at this point where you really kind of come out of this place of just feeling super defeated and super exhausted. And I feel like you're still dealing with some of the weight of that. The 9 of Wands being like a lot of like heavy stuff that you've had to put behind you, but you're still having a hard time putting it behind you, and you're still working on dealing with that. Because being a fire energy, there's like maybe you're a bit impulsive. You don't want to make a decision on a whim or like choose to commit to somebody because like you've just been through so much shit in the past. You're just kind of like, okay, what if that happens again? You're kind of just like, you're still going, but you're like hesitant. You're like really cautious and you're like really kind of worried about a lot of these things that you've held on to. And it's creating like this like distorted view of the world because you're looking a lot into the past right now and you're seeing a lot of the things that have left you feeling defeated, which scares you, which makes you see the world in a skewed view rather than seeing your goals as something that are achievable. I'm seeing that you're like almost feeling like it's impossible. It's really, really heavy on your shoulders. And you're feeling like there's decisions that need to be made. You know, I'm seeing, you know, in this regard, in terms of commitment, you're like to commit or not to commit. You know, you don't know which path to take. You don't want to go through all the stuff that you went through before, and you know that you need to decide, you need to take an action. But at this point, like right now, you're just seeing both of these choices as hell. Like it's like you're really having a hard time seeing the good in anything, in any of these choices. And I'm seeing that this may be a bit of feeling depressed here, feeling a bit low. Because you know, like this is the 9 of Wands. They've been through a lot of stuff. This is just the 2. So you've started this journey, you've started this relationship, and you're like, okay, I'm at a crossroads here. It's kind of at the point where my other relationships were at when they failed. Is this going to happen again? I don't know why, but I just kind of picked that up out of it. That's really what's going on here. It's this confusion, do I want to start this again and have it end up possibly like another wand behind my back? It's not to say that this is not a good situation for you, but this is definitely a lot of stuff that is on your shoulders that you are thinking about. I'm not even sure if you're entirely sure whether or not you want to commit or get married. which is creating this confusion inside of you, and maybe the people around you as well. There's a lot of internal journey going on. It's like you want, I feel, to commit because you feel like it's the next step, but I don't feel like you're ready for the next step. You're still standing at this crossroads. You're like, I don't know, like, what do I do? And, me saying this, you're probably sitting there like, yeah, like, what the hell do I do? Well, we're going to take a peek into that, but it's just going to take a breath for you there. The Chariot is a lot about internal realization, self-discovery. You're wanting to get to know yourself more so that you can make these choices and decisions and know that you want to commit 100%. You want it. You want the commitment, and it is in your power to commit and to, choose love. You reap what you sow. If you continue to make choices as you did in your previous downfalls, then of course it's going to end like this. But if you can learn and you can go on a journey within yourself to find out what you need deep in your heart, you want commitment. You want stability. But I'm seeing that there's history. You're like, I want to plant all these seeds for success, and I feel like you are. Even though you can't make this decision, you are still planting seeds for your future. You don't need to make this decision right now. You are learning about yourself. You are coming out of a heavy place, and you're still working on seeing the world as some place you even want to create an established family of kids, pets, or, just you and your significant other. You're trying to see things differently. And you are, as much as you feel like you're not making a decision or making choices, like I said, you're still doing really great things for your life and for your future and for your stability. I want to emphasize. And there's conflict that's happening right now. That's involved with this, actually. This decision, the fact that you feel like you need to make this choice right now so that you don't follow this path, is hurting you. You are in clearer skies. You have chosen the path that has led you through conflict into peace, into fruition. And don't worry so much about ending up in this place, because this is a different situation. Seeing a really good, feeling from this card here. And there's conflicts that are also making you question if you want to commit. So it's like you're having conflict because you're scared of them commit or not committing, and you're because you think that they're not going to commit, you treat them in a different way where they are feeling like almost judged or criticized, in which you retort. It's just like it feeds into each other, this conflict tied in with this decision. It's about being okay with not making a choice yet. You might be a driven person, and you're feeling a little bit despondent at the moment, a little bit down. But know that this choice isn't going to make a difference to how you see the world. You need to come to that conclusion and into that place on your own and in your own time. Making this decision is not the direction of healing. It's not the direction of healing. You have to do something else to help heal. That's also what I'm getting there. I hope that makes sense. The Magician. So you're finding the tools. You're learning the tools, learning bits and pieces about yourself and about what you want, but you don't have all the tools that you need. You're feeling still a little powerless. But this powerlessness is going to allow you to get in touch with this more patient side of yourself so that you can drop the conflict and just be and plant these little seeds here and there and everywhere, and know that your hard work will pay off. Definitely some deep, deep stuff going on in you. You are working on transforming. This is a very delicate time for you. Know that this commitment will wait for you. There is no rush. There is no rush. You need to trust your intuition. Don't push it. And also, don't think that it's going to turn out like all of these wands. Because these are different wands. They're not the same. You can't keep looking back. It's making you feel powerless. And it's making you doubt your intuition. And it's making you feel suspicious and untrusting. But this will be your stability. When you start to feel like that, recognize that you're starting to feel like that. And know that you don't need to make a choice right now. It's not going to spare you in the long run. It's not going to spare you in the long run. So we'll pull a couple more here. Stay optimistic about your love life. Don't fret. Don't feel like you're stuck in this despondent, sort of sad, conflicty state. Stay optimistic. Positive thinking, I know it's a disgusting phrase. Positive thinking makes me want to gag because I hate that phrase. But it will help. You are at this point seeing the world in a kind of a yucky way. So try to find one positive thing about every situation that you're in. One. You don't have to sit there and be like, oh, fairy tales, happy magic, Skippy. But when you're feeling like shit, be like, oh, I guess it's not, raining. So not only in those situations, but as well as of your love life. If your significant other cooks you dinner, be like, oh, I didn't really want to eat this. Be like, oh, wow, I feel so grateful. Look at the things that you feel grateful for. Very important in this. It's going to help you know that, the decision doesn't need to be made. There's lots of really good things around me already. And deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So, is it you? Are you trying to be somebody that you're not, to prove yourself in this, this decision of commitment? Make sure that you're being true to yourself and not lying to yourself about what you want and the things that make you happy. Listening to that intuition, because I am seeing that, when the moon is like, there's some deception at play. There's somebody that's not being necessarily 100% honest with you about what they're feeling. And it could very well be yourself as well, because you're not seeing things clearly. So you got to make sure that you're looking out for all of those things that you've maybe been blind to. Only time will tell. Patience, relax, breathe. It's going to unfold as it needs to, and that will give you your answer. Even if the answer is no, I am not going to commit, this reading is telling you it doesn't matter where you end up, you will be okay. Forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. Holy smokes. 9 of Wands. That is exactly what I was talking about. And look forward to the future. Look forward to a lot of the things that you're going to be doing and the things that you are currently doing. They're going to give you that sense of fulfillment that you feel like you need from committing, from making a choice in love. You got this. You know you got this. Patience, breathe. There's no rush to know the choices that you need to make next. I hope this made sense to you. If it did, I would love to hear about your comments in the description. Like and subscribe for more. I really hope this gave you the answers that you needed. Honestly, much luck and much love to you. All right. Have a fabulous rest of your day, night, question mark. I don't know. Okay. Bye.